We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts. So welcome to this very special episode of Storied San Francisco Times Bitch Talk podcast.
Hello.
In lieu of our regular weekly episodes, we wanted to just kind of touch on a couple things this week, including celebrating Giving Tuesday, which is today. And we also wanted to talk about ourselves. Our guest this week on the podcast is a very special guest of the show, friend of the show, executive producer of the show, inspiration. Who the hell are you?
Hi, I'm Erin Lim. I'm the wife of Jeff Hunt.
Anyway.
I'm also a podcaster and have been for almost 10 years, which is scary. I host and produce and do a lot of other things for the Bitch Talk podcast, which is an AAPI-led podcast here in San Francisco, and we were just voted best podcast by the 48 Hills Readers Poll. So I will keep saying that and keep tooting our own horn. So thank you, Jeff, for having me on the show.
Year when we win,
no,
we take it back.
Absolutely not. Campaigning harder. Anyways,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we just wanted to talk with y'all about the different ways that we are raising money for our respective podcasts. I will go first.
Okay.
From day one, even though we don't make money with this podcast, it costs us a little bit of money to run and continue to introduce you all to people and places in San Francisco every week. Just in case anyone's curious, the kinds of things that we need money for are web hosting. I think most people listening to this are going to know what web hosting is. And given that, sort of an analog to that is podcast hosting, a place for a cloud computer or some kind of computer somewhere that contains the files that then go out and you are listening to them on. Those things cost money on a monthly basis. And then there's things like the actual equipment we use to record, the recorder, the microphones, the headphones. For Michelle, in the old days, it cost her money to buy film, to process film, to then scan and I guess convert the film to digital images. Now she's got a digital camera that she uses mostly for Storied, but that costs money. It costs money to maintain the camera, things like that. So we basically, the podcast is a labor of love. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't love doing it. But the reality is it costs a little bit of money. And if there's anything that any of you can do to help us continue to do this thing, we'd always appreciate it. There's a donate button on our website, and there's also a link now in our link tree. So if you go to our link tree, which you can find in the bio of any social media, you'll find that donation button. And we'll get to some of the other things that you'll see there in a minute. But first, what's up with Bitch Talk?
I'd say we're always trying to raise some money for our podcast. We put out 2 podcasts a week. We have over 700 episodes, and like you guys, it's a labor of love, and it also brings us joy to do. I would say right now is a little bit of a crunch time for us to raise money to get to go back to Sundance Film Festival. We just got approved to return. I think this is our 4th year.
But first time back, right?
Right. The last 2 years we haven't been there.
I wonder why.
Our last time there was January of 2020,
Yep.
which is so many million years
The
ago.
end of the before times. The very end.
Yes.
That was right up against it.
Could have been the epicenter of the pandemic, but whatever. Somehow we didn't get it there, but that was the last time we were there, and it costs money for us to go. And we have to, figure in transportation. We have to figure in accommodations. We have to figure in food. Hey, look, we are real good at finding those free like promo food venues at Sundance. Believe us. But just for like some basics, literally like coffee, breakfast, maybe a mid-afternoon snack, if you will. But yeah, those things cost money. Mm-hmm. And what Jeff didn't talk about too is this takes time.
Yeah.
A lot of this is our time, finding guests, booking guests, finding time to actually record. Michelle takes the time to go out and takes photographs of almost all of your subjects, unless she's out of town or has a gig. Mm-hmm. So this is time, you guys. This is time, and we offer our services for free. Mm-hmm. And it's accessible, and we are not controlled by some big boss man or woman. So
we don't have that luxury.
Also, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if it's a luxury to have those people making certain demands or whatever, but editorial demands of us.
But that is a great point that we don't have a studio, at least. Y'all have one that you don't always use, but you're either usually recording off.
Yeah, and our producer pays monthly for that. Love to kick her some money for that, because it's awesome to be able to say we have a studio in San Francisco, which is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, it's our time. So if you find our podcasts to your liking, if you've subscribed and you follow our Instagram, what else are you on now? Mastodon
is new.
Account. Bitch Talk's still on Twitter, but we'll see. New year, new us. Maybe we'll be totally off of there. But if you follow what we do and you like what we do, and listen to what we do, a couple of bucks is great. And if you want to do a monthly donation, that's even better. But yeah, I mean, we hate to say that money is the thing, but right now it is. It's just how the world rotates.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that not a single cent, actually goes into our pockets.
Right.
Everything that would come in and does come in goes to putting out the products that we put out. And like Erin says, for them, getting to film festivals, which is a huge part of what they do, and a lot. It seems like the calendar is like front loaded.
It's always front loaded.
Like coming right up.
It's crazy. It's like the first half of the year is a lot of film festivals for us. A lot of them will cover. I mean, thank goodness everyone knows how to use Zoom now.
Yeah.
But it's also nice to go in person. And I would say these film festivals really help us maintain great relationships and have kind of like the best folks coming back on our show for the last few years, and just meeting new people. It's nice to get out there. It's nice to get our name out there. Yeah. So anything helps. Like I said, I mean, honestly, roughly just to go to one film festival probably costs us $3,000 to $4,000.
Right.
So, and that's not going in our pocket. That's not getting paid for our time. So,
yeah.
So if you want to donate to us, you can find us on Instagram at Bitch Talk Pod, or you can simply go to our website, bitchtalkpodcast.com. There's donate buttons at both of those places. And again, anything helps. Honestly, it all adds up, and we are very thankful to those who consider a donation to us.
Yeah, and I'll just go ahead and plug our socials, Storied SF on Instagram, Storied SF on Mastodon, and also through our link tree, which again you can access on any social media platform. You can also sign up for our monthly newsletter. You can also do that on our website. So everything is out there. Anything you can do to help is appreciated. The other thing I wanted to talk about that we at Storied SF are doing, we're gonna publish it today, but leave it up probably the rest of the week. And that is, today is Giving Tuesday. And a big part of what we do, not exclusively, but in retrospect, one of the sort of main types of people or places or groups that we like to cover is nonprofits. And we've got a number of them up for you to also throw your support to. Folks doing a range of amazing stuff, whether it's handing out warm meals to people who need it, whether it's helping to clean up parks and encampments. That's Urban Compassion Project. animal rescue. The types of animals that might not make it into the SPCA. That's Rocket Dog Rescue, just one example. We've got a couple other things. Oh, we can't miss BFF.FM.
Correct.
We're both inaugural charter podcasts on the BFF.FM podcast network, and they are an independent web-based radio station and podcast network that we are a part of. They need money, y'all. All these groups need money. So we've also got a number of urban agriculture type of links, Dragon Spunk, Alamany Farm, Garden for the Environment, that kind of thing. Again, folks that we think are doing really important and beneficial work for the entire community of San Francisco, not only their own communities. So go to our link tree and
either support us or support a nonprofit. We are truly independent podcasters in San Francisco and in the Bay Area, and we'd appreciate whatever you can do, even if it's just a follow.
Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Michelle Kilfeather does original photography for us. Erin Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast is our contributing producer. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 5th season, we have more than 200 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're able to, please rate and review the show. And drop us a line at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay strong, weird, and healthy. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcast.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.